Welcome to Greater Good Radio Hawaii, where leaders inspire leaders. Greater Good Radio Hawaii is dedicated to social entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Evan Leong, and with me is my co-host, Carrie Leong.
Today's guest is Tim Dick, founder and vice chairman of Hawaii Superferry. He is the principal behind usehalf.org, an organization promoting energy conservation. Tim co-founded trustee.org, which has become the Internet's privacy standard. He is a founding board member of Reef Check Hawaii and an active member of the Hawaii Venture Capital Association and the Hawaii International Film Festival. Please welcome to Greater Good Radio, Tim Dick. Welcome to our show, Tim.
Thanks very much. Good to be here.
Tim, you are involved and you've started so many businesses and companies. Could you tell us, what are you up to nowadays?
There's always a lot going on. Certainly Hawaii Superferry takes the landslide of my time and continues to do so and will for certainly a while. But I think it's important to diversify your interests and provide, as much as you can back into the entrepreneurial and venture community. Try to leverage some of the experiences that I've had, as well as some of the community things as well. I think it's always important to be active in the community in tandem with every for-profit, activity that you do, and that's always been a mantra of mine.
So you're looking at dual bottom line type situations then?
Sometimes a dual bottom line. I mean, certainly the company that I started prior to Hawaii Superferry, grassroots.com, grassroots.org, still around, was a double and even triple bottom line company. So sometimes you can combine them, not always. Certainly Use Half and some of the for-profit things in association with that can very much be considered a double bottom line. And certainly the community aspects and the energy savings aspects of Hawaii Superferry themselves can be considered a double bottom line, although formally with our shareholders there, it's only a single bottom line.
Maybe you can explain then how Use Half and the grassroots, how the double bottom line and triple bottom line actually works in those companies.
Okay. Well, let's take grassroots because it's really the most obvious double bottom line company, very explicitly there. Grassroots is an attempt at making a nonpartisan or a bipartisan political action vehicle that enables individuals, groups, organizations, and companies to take political action, whether it's supporting or opposing various legislation, candidates, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of an engine that helps political action occur. And to me, one of the founding principles of that is that our political process isn't very transparent, and it's hard for people to actually genuinely influence, particularly issues of national importance. And so we felt back in 1999 that the Internet was getting to be a place where it could begin to become an engine of change, something where we could genuinely help enable political change to happen in a nonpartisan way. We're not taking a pro or a con side for a particular issue. And I think, as we've all seen, the Internet is now a major force of political change, whether it's fundraising or look at all the candidates that are on MySpace today. Look at all the forums that are out there. Look at the lobbying engine. So, we were right. We may have timed it a little bit on the early side and so forth, and may have not gotten the kinds of, investor returns we ideally wanted. But we certainly, I think succeeded in the fact that it's done its mission. It's executed against its mission.
How does it make any money?
Certainly, if you're looking to do a broad outreach campaign, that's something that isn't free. In fact, it's very costly to do grassroots campaigns, particularly whether it's telephonically or traditional means where you have you're either trying to come up with a huge volunteer base or you're looking at paying a lot of people to actually start to drum up support bases. Well, we thought that the Internet would be a great way to do that via viral marketing and other kinds of things, sort of the precursor to what have become the social networking today. And you have an ability, since it's a private domain, where it's your agenda, it's your issue that you're out there marketing, to actually charge for that. But on a per action basis, it's a very, very affordable way to go. The Internet is a very affordable mechanism in comparison to traditional ways of developing political support.
How did you start thinking about this double bottom line type of way of doing business?
I think it maybe comes from really my parents, that the notion of social responsibility is something that I think you wind up sort of absorbing as a young person, or thinking about explicitly. What kind of a responsibility do I have to society? What kind of a citizen do I want to be? And certainly there are entrepreneurs and very successful business people who don't participate that much in social responsibility, although I think that's beginning to change. I think it's really broadening very significantly, and the trend that you guys are looking at really, I think, is an exploding trend. So that's made me very happy. But certainly looking back 10, 15 years at some of the things I've done, starting World Pages, which was the first internet white and yellow pages, and then realizing, oh my goodness, there's going to be privacy issues around people's personal information on the internet. It's always been out there. You can go to a government office and get information and so on and so forth. But wow, it's all going to be out there. Is this a good thing? How do we manage that? How do we, create a community out of the internet that has some social responsibility? And out of that came Privacy Assured, which is now Trustee, the first privacy initiative on the internet. So it's thinking about what you're doing and what the social implications are, and maybe actually doing something that is, coherent in the same flavor of that, which would be sort of the Trustee was sort of the second part of the bottom line to World Pages, which was simply a for-profit company. It was never explicitly a double bottom line. In fact, I think the term double bottom line didn't exist back in 93, 94 when we were starting that. But it's thinking about, what your place is in society and whether or not you have responsibility to society when you're doing what amount to game-changing things.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.